If you want to turn 250 million into 6 billion, buy Bitcoin. Don't buy gold. If I bought gold, I would have had $250 million worth of gold instead of $6 billion worth of Bitcoin. So when I say it's a lever and it's a ladder, yes, it's a ladder. Yeah, I think the last 12 months has been just a 180-degree turn. With the executive order, a couple of weeks ago, what we had was the President of the United States giving a green light to Bitcoin. If I scan the last 100 years of history, and I ask, when's the last time the President of the United States directed the government to embrace a new asset class? The answer is never. Everything that we're seeing in the last 12 months, inflation, war in Ukraine, Russian sanctions, the Canadian trucker crisis, and anxiety about how to manage a portfolio, all of these things have been bullish for Bitcoin. And although they're unfortunate and unpleasant for the world, they have underscored the use case for a global non-sovereign store of value crypto asset like Bitcoin.
As an investor, whenever I hear win-win, I usually don't believe it. If inflation is an issue, clearly Bitcoin is a great hedge against inflation. We're trying to impress upon investors how important this movement is. What I usually say is, okay, listen to this and listen to every word because every word is important. Bitcoin is the first, global, that's really important. Private, now it's open source, but there's no government involvement. Digital, rules-based, monetary system in the history of the world. It is a very big idea. Yeah.
I think that technology is going to drive the adoption of Bitcoin more aggressively in the coming 36 months, even than it has in the last 36 months. Cash App and Kraken, both of those companies have done an enormous service for the Bitcoin community by integrating Lightning into their platforms.
The Lightning Network is a second-layer solution that uses payment channels for rapid transactions and minimal fees.
Follow the developers. I think we're going to see an explosion of developers focused on the Lightning Network. I think this has been the missing link to dominate long-term.
If we can move USD stable coins at the speed of light, you're going to see tens of trillions and then hundreds of trillions of dollars all moving on Lightning rails secured by the Bitcoin network. People are going to start to realize that not supporting Lightning is like not supporting the internet. 24 months ago, I went to Merrill Lynch and I said, I want to buy Bitcoin. They laughed at me and said, not only will I not sell it to you, we're not allowed to talk about it or we get fired. Like, okay. Then I wired like $175 million out of that bank and I went somewhere else. I think the victory lap here is now my inbox has Bitcoin research from Merrill Lynch sent to me by the same broker. Like, we're covering it now. So every bulge bracket firm is starting to cover it. They're all grudging that they're going to start to trade it. It's coming. As you walk into a room with people that have collectively 10 or 20 trillion dollars, and you tell the story, and they say, well, you know, Bitcoin sounds better than gold, and Bitcoin sounds better than owning a big tech stock, and Bitcoin sounds like the solution to all the world's problems, and it's just so good that someone is going to take it away from me because it's too good. And what you need is this one-page memo from the White House saying, no, we're not taking it away from you. At that point, people can start to put billions of dollars into this asset
Sure,
class.
and I think we have someone at the SEC, Gary Gensler, who is behind Bitcoin. At MIT, certainly that was the case.
I figured out actually where there's a real opportunity in the world of finance to use blockchain technology and make it a better financial sector.
And the SEC has declared that Bitcoin is not a security. So I think this has elevated Bitcoin. It's actually lowered the risk.
Every one of you knows someone. Go tell a CEO, go tell your father, go tell your mother, go tell somebody that Bitcoin's going to change the world and they should figure out more about it, because the number one thing you can do is educate the world on Bitcoin and let people know they need to figure out Bitcoin. And every one of you does make a difference, because I would never get those meetings if it wasn't like someone that went and said, you got to pay attention. And my last point to you, you do not sell your Bitcoin. Thank you. Thank you.